This is the Educators One at CSTA, Computer Science Teachers Association, Computer Science Coaching Toolkit. All right, wonderful. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that to the top. Let me get into the session over here.
I'll share my screen.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
If you all notice me looking left and right, I'm logged in as an administrator as well, so I'm also doing some behind the scene things. So
that's why I'm sharing the presentation, ladies and gentlemen, because I know my partner in crime is working his jelly behind the scenes. Full screen.
Somebody said they can't hear, but okay, try to refresh. Oh, you can't hear. Because if everyone else can hear, let's see.
Thumbs up in the chat if you can see the presentation.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you. Let's see if we can get Miss Miller. Okay. While she's getting in, and I'm sharing my screen. Let me see. Can you see the closed caption?
Okay, there you go. Yes.
Can you see the closed caption?
Okay, we have pinned the link to the presentation because this is an interactive presentation. So we pinned it to the top, and we'll let you know when you need to be to do something with the presentation. All right,
let's get started.
Yes.
So today our goals are going to be explaining how the CSTA Computer Science Teacher Standards can be used as a guide to more effectively and equitably provide computer science instruction from the lens of an administrator or a computer science coach or specialist. We're also going to talk about indicators and discuss how to support teacher development through coaching. So if you are that administrator, we're going to ask these questions in just a couple minutes to find out more. We're going to go over who we are and what this is, provide some scenarios, introduce the standards and the look for tool, go over, kind of preview a little bit the resources available, including the coaching toolkit, and answer any questions that you all have. Again, thank you for your patience as I was trying to hear.
All right, and we actually had an awesome team that collaborated on this presentation. So, of course, my partner, Ms. Shaina Glass, who's actually a CSTA Equity Fellow as well. We have Ms. Janice Mack, myself, Cindy Chang, and Brian Twarrick, who's actually the Director of Education for the Computer Science Teachers Association. It's an awesome team.
Yes, and now if you could, let's get a little acquainted. I've dropped in the chat how you can tell us a little bit about who you are. So if you don't mind taking literally 10, 15 seconds and filling out this form for us, I'm actually going to show you the stats as they come in. And this is just going to help us fill out the room so we know who is in this boat. Are you an administrator? Are you a coach? Are you a teacher looking to see how you can explain these to others, right? So how you can show your administrators, hey, you may not know what I'm doing, but these resources will help you identify how to better support me, even in reflection.
Oh, sorry, I was typing.
I hear.
I was filling out, participating.
Yes, you did very quickly. So here are our current results. If you can see on the screen, I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit. Hopefully this helps.
Yes, we can see it.
All right, so we have most of the room who has a lot of experience. We have, a lot of experience. We're ranging anywhere from 6 to 10 to over 20 years of experience in this room. That is awesome. I'm jelly myself. I do fall in that range, but the roles currently 66% of you are coaches, a little over 66%. We have some state national administrators, and we have a teacher in the room. So very diverse group. And then you've provided us with your information, which is great. We thank you for sharing that information with us. I'm not going to show emails, but more so we just wanted to get a feel for who is actually in the room. I'm going to come back over because the next slide is actually interactive. So I'm going to, we'll redrop in the chat. He actually pinned this to the top of the chat. That is the link to the presentation, right? Isn't it to the presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the link to the presentation, which gives you editing rights. So if I stop presenting, you actually can grab one of the pins to tell us where you're located. I know the Constellations is situated in the state of Georgia, but I have a feeling we may have people from outside of Georgia in the room. So grab a pin and move it and let us know where you are in relation to what's going on. And if everybody's in Georgia, that's great. I'm actually in Texas. So yeah, we just want to know who you are and where you are. So let us know. And let us know if you don't have access. Even though I see like the little faces on the top of the screen.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, I see a few people.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. We'll give you another 30 seconds to tell us. And this again is just so we know.
Oh, it says it's not letting them move the pin.
Okay, let me adjust. Oh, let me change. Edit. All right. So go ahead and refresh. You should pop out and pop back in. Excellent. Oh, I see some other people in Texas. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it. Is that Maryland or Delaware?
Yeah, I was trying to see.
New Jersey. Yes, Marie. Hey. Illinois. Great image this morning to see all of you from all over the country. All right, so now we can get into the work. Now that we know where people are from, and you know who's in the room as well, that's very, very helpful. So I'm going to reshare my screen again. This looks beautiful, by the way. I'm so glad we did this. This looks really good. Okay.
All right. So part of what we're doing is definitely reiterating or introducing the standards for computer science teachers. So we're going to kind of walk through that, show you how to gain access to those standards as well. But first, why computer science, specific standards for teachers? Most of you all should already be familiar with the computer science standards for students. And if not, they are also located on the CSTA's website, which is csteachers.org. But these standards were based off some former computer science standards that were managed and collaboratively developed. But these new ones were in concert with the International Society for Technology and Education, also known as ISTE, where there were a team of 13 educators who wrote the standards during the year 2019 and then published them in 2020. And then since then, we've had teams of wonderful volunteers to kind of help work with the resources and create new resources and create items that can help support those computer science standards.
Our target audience today are all of you. So this will help develop different programs depending on where you are in your level. This will also help policy if you are state leaders. This will help you support the teachers themselves, and it will help teachers be able to guide their administrators here or coaches if they don't have the resources to support them. So that is who we are. That is who we're targeting, and we're glad to have you in here this morning.
And then even if you are a teacher, we appreciate you being here as well. And that way you can kind of see when observers are coming in, or coaches or administrators, those things for which they might be looking. Okay, so we talked about the student standards and the teacher standards. So here's a comparison and differentiation between the two. Of course, the student standards deals with what is it that the student needs to know? What are those learning outcomes and objectives by the end of that computer science course? Okay. But with the teacher standards, what the teacher standards exhibit are those knowledge, those skills, those competencies that the teacher needs to have to help effectively and equitably guide those students to successfully achieve those student learning outcomes. So in this example, there's one topic dealing with feedback. So on the student side, seek and incorporate feedback from team members and users to refine a solution that meets the user needs. Okay, so on the educator side, okay, well, what does the standard look like? Well, the educator needs to plan activities and projects that one relate to the student, that have personal meaning to the student, and be able to provide timely, relevant feedback to those students so they can model, well, how do you use feedback, and then adjust instruction accordingly afterwards. Also, not just modeling that standard, but the teacher needs to give the student opportunities as well to use feedback in those activities so that they can go and refine solutions and come up with resolutions to different situations.
Excellent, excellent. Now, let's talk a little bit about these standards. So there's 5 standards. There's CS knowledge and skills, equity and inclusion, professional growth and identity, instructional design, and classroom practice. Today, for this brief period of time we have you, we're going to dig a little deeper into standard 5, which is classroom practice. So sorry about that. So I am on the website, and I did drop that link in here for you in the chat. And there's 2 ways that you can view or use these or access these standards. Of course, they're available online just by clicking standards. And then there's drop downs with the expansion of all of the indicators, right?
Yes.
And we are, again, talking about Standard 5. So we're going to look at that a little bit closer. And go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yes. As you notice, when you click on the plus symbol, you are able to expand the accordion to more details to see what those indicators are. And then even in those indicators, you'll see some words that are highlighted, which you can click and expand for further explanation, as well as words or phrases that are underlined. And when you click on them, they give extra detail as well, which might include examples, elaborations, details, related links, or even links to external resources to continue to help and support these efforts. Okay, so that's the interactive way.
There's also the downloads.
Right.
Where you can download the PDFs and the condensed one-pagers. You need to provide that for your administrators on your way back to work, or when, so since it's summertime. But they have provided very detailed information, double-sided information, single-sided, that breaks down all of the standards and the indicators. Did you want to add to that a little bit? Are you good?
No, I think you covered it. The
Okay.
version like for the administrators, policymakers is a little bit more digestible, and then the other one that has the full text with greater detail will be more so for your coaches and your teachers, more beneficial for your coaches and your teachers.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, now we are going to ask for your feedback. So everyone in the room, again, we are using the slides and we're on slide 20, but we're going to ask you to go to slide 21. And we're going to provide teacher scenarios. And we provided them for both. So these are two classrooms. Imagine you are getting ready to walk into this room and we have written vignettes of what you would observe. And what we're going to do is give you a few minutes to actually read each of these vignettes. So we're going to start with Miss Nguyen's class. And while you are there, I'm actually going to pull that up on the screen. You see, it does force you to make a copy because we do want you to have editing rights to this so that you can personalize these vignettes. So I'm going to leave this on the screen for you all to read, but you should have your own copy.
Right. You should have access to it as well. So you can see the whole thing because it might be a little small.
Yeah, I didn't mean to make it that small. My apologies.
It's okay. Just had to put my bifocals on.
Well, you can click on the screen and make, and pin it to make it, full. But again, we want you to take about a minute or so and just scan over as if you were walking into the classroom. And this is case 1. And when you are done reading, we want you to tell us a word or phrase that describes this teacher. And you can come up to 3 different words or phrases. And I'll drop the Mentimeter in the chat box for you. What do you think of when you walked into this virtual teacher's classroom? She's not virtual, but you know what I mean.
I would say also as you're reading, and I know we keep interrupting you, sometimes I can't read with noise, but consider what level classroom it might be. As far as what are the classifications of the students.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pulling over so you can see if anyone shared.
All right, let's see what they're saying about Mr. Wynn's classroom.
And Sababu, I'm going to add too, so in case you would like to add some words to describe her class as well.
All right, all right.
Mm. Ah.
So remember, we have the link to the Mentimeter in the chat at the bottom of the chat. So you can add your word or phrase. Well, word, yeah. Well, it says word phrase.
Yeah. So teacher centered. Ooh, someone thinks it's a middle school teacher.
Okay.
Traditional. It's a traditional computer science lesson. I'll take that. I'll take that. Let's look at case 2.
Ms. Williams' class.
Miss Williams's class. Remember, you have the buttons here listed, and then you get to make a copy of your own.
Then basically we want you to do the same thing, to read the vignette and come and think about 3 words that would describe that class. But we'll give you a few minutes to read first.
I am dropping the links in the chat for easy access. And I am also dropping the Menti for your reflection. And then I will share, sorry. That was hers. For teacher 2.
Facilitator. Interactive.
I see words that are standing out. Lots of questioning. Now, we did this activity specifically because we felt like in order for you to understand how to utilize the tools that have been built by CSTA, it's important for you to see it through the eyes of either a teacher or an administrator. Like you have to walk it to know how to use it. So that was the reason and the rationale for us giving you those options. Please don't close those vignettes yet or those scenarios yet, because we would like for you to use them. So what we're going to do now is look at how the teacher and student actions align to Standard 5.
All right. So remember, Standard 5 deals with classroom practice, and you just observed two classrooms actually dealing with the same concept, which were conditionals. So what we would like for you to do at this moment in those same two documents is to look at, use this look for tool. So look at the teacher actions, and if you observed those teacher actions in the scenarios, in the vignettes, to highlight the teacher action you observed, as well as the evidence where it's located in the scenario in yellow. So you're going to highlight the action you saw, as well as where you saw that action, the evidence of that action in yellow. We will also like for you to highlight the student actions. So whatever student actions you observed, we would like for you to highlight that in cyan, as well as the corresponding evidence in the scenarios in cyan. And then I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. What I was going to say was we're actually going to mirror that for you. And we apologize that this is really small, which is why we have provided you with the copy. And it is actually listed below your document. So you can just scroll down and do the same. So for instance, we see here, and this is in Miss Nguyen's class, and you can pick either document. You don't have to do both. But let's say it says uses questions and inquiry to guide learning. You would come up to the area where she may be asking questions. So here they say that she asked them right here. So then I would highlight that in yellow and in yellow, because it actually, right, this is the teacher action. Do I see students asking questions? Where it actually says that they were asked thoughtful questions. Did they ask it? You would go through and you would identify something that you see. Did the students share personal experience? Did they seek out varied perspectives? Did they show confidence? Did they use resources? Utilize pair programming? Do we see where it actually said what the student was doing? That is where you would go through and identify. And if we flipped it and came over to Miss Williams and did the same thing, then we would be identifying where these things correlated. And now we do want to stop and ask you if you would like to share what you've done. So we can share that on the screen. So you've made a copy of this. If you change your share settings so that we can view it, then you can drop the link in the chat so that we can pull that up on the screen to share with others in the room. Or if you would like to come up on the stage and discuss this with us, we would love that as well.
All right, click on the share audio and video, the blue audio and video button in the upper right corner, near the upper right corner, and we'll gladly welcome you.
We also want you to think as you are going over this, there's an extra box at the bottom that says, what is one thing that you would ask the teacher? Because of time, you can drop it here on your document, but could you also share that with us in the chat? So in the chat, could you take a second and just tell us, what question would you have? If it's for Miss Nguyen, drop it in the chat. Miss Nguyen, what is going on in your class? Miss Williams, where are the kids? You know, what question are you thinking that just from being in their classroom for a few minutes, you would want to discuss further with the teacher?
And this could be a question as a peer teacher, as a coach, as an administrator, as an observer from the Board of Education, as a parent, as a community member or partner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we're incorporating that wait time, so you have to digest and synthesize your question.
I like that. You actually have me going through and trying to see. Like, I feel like it's real loose. But maybe in here with the multiple choice. I mean, all of these are student actions, but we're discussing DOKs right now at work, and it's like a level 1. It's like recall. So, I mean, it's there, but it's very, very much at a lower level, depth of knowledge. So while you're doing that, or looking at that, let's talk about what you do next. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back in presentation mode. So from here, you're using the look for tools. From here, now it is time to support the teacher based off what you observe, which is where you would use the CS Coaching Toolkit. And this is kind of where me and Sababu and the rest of the team, this is where our work really came in, where we were developing the CS Coaching Toolkit. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. So I'm going to drop the link to the coaching toolkit here in the chat so you can access it. And it explains a 3-phase coaching cycle to support teacher reflection and growth before, during, and after teaching a lesson. There are suggested questions that coaches can use to guide teacher reflection at each step, with differentiation based off of the teacher experience level. And we've actually broken this down into four teaching levels. The teacher we're going to look at today as an example to kind of model how you would go through this is Miss Nguyen.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. You were coming up on the slide. I almost jumped the gun. I was going to say 4 levels that
yes.
We're considering are if you are a new teacher and new to teaching computer science, which will be the case in some cases, or if you are an experienced teacher and new to computer science, which you'll see a lot often as they're pulling computer science teachers from different other fields, or if you are an experienced computer scientist and new to teaching, or you are a experienced teacher and experienced computer scientist as well. But today we're going to focus initially on considering Miss Nguyen as a new teacher and new to computer science.
Right, exactly. So based off of what you've seen and what you shared and what you highlighted on your own document, we are assuming that Ms. Nguyen was a new teacher and she was new to computer science. And I'm going to take this link to show you exactly how this would work. I have a lot of windows open at this point.
That is the norm.
I know. And I'm sure all of you are like, I get it.
I close out some of my tabs so I can minimize the connection issue, the bandwidth issue, and still I have like 25 tabs open.
Thank goodness for strong broadband, right? So we are looking at how, from the coaching standpoint or from a campus administrator or even a district administrator standpoint, how you provide that coaching to the teacher based off of their teaching style. And here, if Ms. Nguyen was a new teacher and new to CS, then we actually provide questions based off of the standard. And we said we are standard 5. We're focused on standard 5 today. So that would be, this is just an example, but based off of what we read and to prepare her for the next time, I would ask her about opportunities to offer student choice. You know, are there some additional opportunities for you to offer student choice? How will student discussion be built in? Because she was driving the conversation versus the student having conversations or leading the conversation, or it being, as many of you stated, it was more teacher driven, teacher centered, or teacher focused. How would she flip that to make it more student centered?
And now, even with the example of the feedback standard, like, you know, when did the students in her class have an opportunity to provide feedback to her, or when did she utilize that class time to provide feedback to the students?
Absolutely. Now, our next part of this activity is, let's say Ms. Nguyen was actually an experienced teacher, but new to computer science, which generally is how things happen nowadays. In most cases, teachers do have previous teaching experience, but they lack the experience in computer science. So looking at it from this lens, we have the questions that have been adjusted specifically for that. And we're going to do another interactive, sorry, my extension. We are going to do another activity, and it is interactive, and it's on slide 32. So I'm going to stop presenting again. And we provided you all with these little bit emojis. What we would like for you to do is go to slide 32 and to grab a Bitmoji next to the question that you would ask Ms. Nguyen based off of her teaching experience. And we're going to discuss any common themes based off of the questions that you would perceive to ask. So if you don't mind. And for those of you who are here and may not have the presentation in front of you.
is pinned at the top.
Yes, it is at the top.
Okay.
And I've just dropped it in the chat one more time as well. Great question. How would you provide feedback to students? I like, how will students self-assess? I'll give you a couple more minutes. Well, a couple minutes. Well, let's say a minute. Okay. I'm looking at time. You know, where it happens, so it's a little different. But it's different. It's different. It's a little different. That's all. It's a little different. Are there opportunities to offer student choice? Yes. So, and you'll see that even not only are the theme and the questions, but regardless of the teacher level, these are questions that you may use across the board.
And then remember, these are not just all the questions that you could ask. This is just a sample of questions that you can ask for this level and this standard.
And now we're going to go to the chat and look to see if there are any questions that you may have for us or anything that you would want to share with us. Or if you are looking for any feedback on using these teacher standards or using the look for tool when you walk into a classroom. Teachers, this is definitely a reflection tool. We would like for this to be used for you to reflect on your own teaching practices.
Or if you would like to, especially I saw we had many coaches in the building. So if you would like to discuss briefly maybe a good experience you had with questioning or using teacher standards with your teachers, you may share that. Or maybe some, questions that you would ask, you can put in the chat or come up on the video stage. Say, don't be shy. Don't be scared.
Yes, it's Tuesday. It's not Monday. Yesterday was Monday. It was different yesterday. It's a new day. It's a new day.
And we're all community of educators, and we're here to help each other. So, I mean, I remember, being in the classroom, it seemed like I was just on an island by myself, especially being the only CS teacher in the building. But yeah, we need to build community. We are all a family.
It most definitely is. I will say this. So now we are going to ask you to use the chat for us and create this statement as a blank. So what is your role? How will you use CS teacher standards or resources? So tell us, how do you plan to use it? Just a little reflection. And I will share as well. Thank you, Chuck. Excellent, excellent. Look at us sharing. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, and we know, we only talked about one of the standards, but definitely make sure you go and revisit and look into the website. Navigate the standards themselves and what's expected and what you can do to improve the instructional environment.
Yeah, we also want to share with you that at the bottom of every page with the teacher standards, not just in this area for administrators and coaches, but all of the different areas, there is a form at the bottom where we would ask for you to share feedback. We've been working on this for several months now, and feedback is key, whether it be how you plan on using it, how you have used it, suggestions, things that we can do to improve it. We would appreciate and welcome your voices at the table. So it's not just a singular view. It is diverse as this document and the teachers we support. Additional opportunities for you to learn more about this. This will be presented at the administrator track on the 15th. So invite administrators, invite other coaches to come to learn more about how to use these tools. Go ahead and definitely review the Look For tool and the Coaching Toolkit, as all of that is here. And if you are not familiar or don't know, and I do have it here. Ooh, I keep these as a hefty, as a guided a guide for me for coaching. So I literally keep these next to my desk. These are the Cornell Tech coaching cards, and they were done in collaboration with us working with this. So Meg Ray, who's over there at Cornell Tech, they were working on these cards that can be used to support teachers. And so if you want to learn more about that, they will also be presenting at the CSTA conference. So be on the lookout because we know that you're going. These are all of the resources for the teacher standards, which are for K-12 teachers, for administrators, policymakers, PD providers, schools of education, and all other areas and other resources that are provided. If you're not already a member, make sure you join. It's free to become a member. Identify your chapter, as they're all over the country. And we want to say thank you.
Merci beaucoup, asante sana, all the other languages.
I know, right?
Right. Say that. Gracias. Let me start. Yes. Be like, man, you're butchering those languages.
In some form or fashion, you got it. We truly appreciate you all jumping into this session today. And if you have any questions, connect with us here in Hopin. So you can definitely just click on people and make a connection so that, we can work together in the future. And I will definitely be doing the same. So if I'm not familiar with your work, I will be reaching out because we're stronger together, not apart. So
yeah, I just dropped my email in the chat as anyway. Awesome. So
look, I can do that. All my information is on there too, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn and any other areas that you feel you want to reach out. Again, thank you all for jumping in, tuning in. We're going to give you back 3 additional minutes of your time so you can take a bathroom break before the next session. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
All right, peace.
Peace. This was so good. I think we did well.
All right. Whew.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yes. Thank you. See, I got up this morning. I was like, all I could think about was the presentation And I got up early. I was like, well, early to me. It was like 7 o'clock. And I'm just thinking. And all of a sudden it was like 8:45, 8:50-ish. And I was like, you know what, wait. The thing starts at 9 o'clock. I'm thinking about 10.
But I was looking for the time. I was looking for the time. Like literally, I was like, but that's on my clock. And I kind of almost freaked out like you. I was like, is that 9 my time? Or is that 9? Whose time is that? Like, did he put the right time on my calendar? just a small freak out. Just a small freak out. Yeah, it was good though. It was good.
All right. And Jana, she sent her stuff, but she sent it after we had already
gone over that part.
I was like, oh my gosh, wait. I guess we didn't have it ready for CSTA.
We'll have it ready for next time.
So let me see if I can find it. I heard some. Oh, curriculum specialist. Okay. Let me put that on there right now and put it on the other ones as well.
It's all good though. It's all good.
Specialist. Okay. Did I spell that right?
I heard it was real good last week. I mean, yesterday.
Oh yes, a lot. And then we actually had a coded bias watch party last night as well. So my team leader, well, do you know Hong Lin Diaz?
Oh no,
from Constellations. Okay, so she's my team leader. She sent some snacks. Boy, I had some popcorn and some Skittles. Hey, let me not say that too loud. My wife might hear me. I'm not, like,
this was good. And that was New Jersey. Deidre Richardson is from New Jersey. We had New Jersey, Georgia Tech. I don't know what APSK. I don't know what that is.
You said
APSK.
Oh yeah, that's Atlanta Public Schools.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had Atlanta Public Schools, University of Texas, Georgia Tech, New Jersey, and I am SOCI, which was that last one with my brother and sister's keeper or something like that. Chuck Barrow. So I will share this information with you right now. Crap, I think I just closed. No, I didn't. Here, look, I will share this with you so you have who was a part of the conversation today. Because that was good. Like, that was really good. Maybe we can even send them an email thanking them for coming and sharing the link to the resources. Just as a follow-up. Because that was good. That was good.
All right.
Yeah.
So we good team.
Yeah, and it was good, the information. I'm glad that we did convert this information over to Google versus that other platform. I think it flowed better. So nicely done.
Okay, so we got some other sessions that'll be starting in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I gotta jump.
You have some other ones today, don't you?
Yeah, I'll be back after lunch. I got 2 to wrap up the end of my day.
All right, how to engage African American teachers and
dismantle.
Okay.
And how to dismantle colorblind.
Got you. And teacher education.
Teacher education and computer science.
Yeah, I remember I actually did have a student that was colorblind, like for real.
Every time I hear the word, I think, oh, colorblind.
Right, but we talking about a different type of colorblind.
Yeah, so we will see. We'll see.
Concurrent decisions. Oh, that's Brian. Okay, no, I already did that. Took care of that. Okay. All right, I had to go look in the back end again and see if anybody was trying to contact me. It's like,
Oh,
I've been in this session.
yes. Okay, let me jump and I will see you a little later this afternoon.
All right. See you
All
later.
right. Bye.
Peace.